I saw a guy on the subway where the glasses were too big for his face, and it really infuriated me. I hate when people pick out the wrong glasses for their faces. This guy had such a huge nose that he was trying to cover it up with giant glasses. He looked insane. And then I was thinking, like, how do you leave the eyeglass store looking like a fool because you picked out the wrong glasses? And especially on the subway, I see it from time to time, and it just infuriates me. I want to knock their teeth into the back of their head. Makes you want to smash them with a frying pan. Yes, see, Mex gets it. Ed Hernandez, thank you. Yeah, like Charles Nelson Riley glasses this guy had. I want to say, dude, I get it. You got a big nose and you're trying to, like, you know, draw attention away from the nose, but you picked the wrong glasses, and then they were square. They were on the square side. Who buys glasses that are more square than oval? He's a full idiot. There you go. There you go. I would love to hit him.
This episode of the Opie Radio podcast, sponsored by Oats Overnight. It's a delicious overnight oats shake, quick and easy. Go to oatsovernight.com, promo code Opie. What's up, Vincent? How are you, buddy? And Matt Applebaugh, what's going on? Hacks Against Hacks, and Jordan Shepard, and Jeff Ween, and Martin Bolano. Come down to the Panhandle. My God, that would be awesome. Corey Rockwell, what's going on? First time? All right. Welcome, man. We have a lot of fun with these live streams. Stern said something about you. I doubt that. Thank you, Yagi, because I would have heard about it many, many times today. Oliver North. Opie, Stern said he invented sunsets. Hoo. Ed Hernandez in studio. This is what Howard said. He said, hold on. Hoo, Opie's dopey. Tell him, Robin. Yeah, Howard most likely does wear a wig. Are you kidding me? Of course. Of course he does. He's got some kind of hair system. I think that's pretty obvious by now. It looks ridiculous. Isn't he like 70? Close to 70, and he has dark, black, curly hair, a full head of hair. What's up, Grant? How are you, buddy? Howard is 78. Wow, damn, time is flying by. I invented inventions, Robin. Tell him, Fred. Vice versa, thank you. White beard, black hair. Yeah, that's always a dead giveaway, right? What else is going on, man? Florida sucks. Scotland checking in. What's up, Sir Duncan? How are you, man? Welcome to our little sunset party that we try to do on a regular basis now on the YouTube. Florida's great. Florida's just okay. When you're landlocked in Florida, I can't think of a worse place on earth to be. And every strip mall feels and looks exactly the same. There's no real personality in Central Florida. God, I don't like it. But then you get to the coast, and they got their own personality, and they got their own thing going on. But yes, I'm talking about you, Orlando. Central Florida is the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. That was really bad. I understand. Opie, did you hear people are trying to get Wendy Williams fired because she made fun of Joaquin Phoenix's cleft lip? Really? I think I did see a little something about that online. I mean, was she making a joke? If she was making a joke, then she should be totally fine. If she was just being an asshole, then, the culture is such that she might be in a bit of trouble. But I stick up for anybody that's trying to make a joke, and especially if the joke is funny. She could take people with cleft lips seriously, but also you should be able to make fun of it. No? Or is that too harsh? Is that type of humor too harsh these days? Where's the line? I know, having a kid with a cleft lip is pretty rough, and there's some doctors out there doing amazing things to give, those children quality of life. Check out Afterlife, Ricky Gervais Netflix. Yeah, it's on my list. I got a whole list. I want to see the Aaron Hernandez documentary on Netflix. I think that's the one I'm going to check out, maybe even tonight. And then I still got to see the Quentin Tarantino movie, and then I got to see Parasite still. I got to see the Joker still. Lots of gayness in the Hernandez doc. Really? Joker sucks, don't watch. All right. Watched Hernandez last night. It was great. Aaron was a self-hating gay, is what Yagi's saying. I have no idea if that's what was going on. Opie, watch this movie called Wizard of Oz. It's going to be a winner this year. What else? Are you guys watching the impeachment thing with the Trump? You love the Joker, Grant says. See, there you go. Trump 2020, Opie. Here we go. You mentioned Trump and it gets everybody triggered. Everybody. There's snowflakes on both sides. I think Trump is guilty going into the impeachment trial. But I also think that we should see all the evidence and see what the witnesses have to say. But here's the problem. I think everyone is signing an oath to be what? What's the word? Honest. Barry Sanders 2020. I'm in the middle of my political rant, you twat. To be impartial. Thank you. So everyone's signing the oath to be impartial, but here's the problem with the whole impeachment thing. The Democrats have already decided that he's guilty. The Republicans have already decided that he's not guilty, and they're not willing to listen to anything. So for them to be signing that impartial oath thing is complete garbage. I would really like to see, a fair trial with a bunch of witnesses and really go through the process, because it is America, God damn it. And then we could finally make our decision on Trump. But it's just going to be a dumb circus. We're all going to be watching, but it's going to be a dumb circus. The Democrats are going to be yelling and screaming, screaming for witnesses, screaming for this and that. And the Republicans are going to be like, nah, we're good. We're good. We don't need witnesses. We don't need any of that horse shit. And they'll both hold party lines. And in the end, unless there's some crazy bombshell thing that happens, Trump won't officially be, he's impeached, but he won't be leaving office. And then I honestly think that that's going to rally a lot of his base. And I think the Democrats at that point are going to be in a bit of trouble because they don't have a strong candidate. For the Democrats out there, be brave. I know, like showing your face, then everyone jumps on you and calls you basically a cocksucker, a libtard, a snowflake. Fuck you. Wish you and your family would die. Just because you say you're one party or the other. But be brave. Which Democrat do you think has a chance to take out Trump for real? Graham says none of them have a chance against Trump. You can't just say Bernie, because that means nothing to me. Why do you think Bernie has a chance to beat Trump in 2020? Why? Personally, I think, and it's something me and Yakov Smirnov talked about on the latest episode of the podcast, socialism. I think if you're going for a socialistic stance as your platform, you're going to lose a lot of people. The answer, like I told Yakov, is in the compromise. The answer is in the middle somewhere. But in this political climate, we all want to be part of a team, and it's all or nothing, man. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So you got 50% of the country, basically, that is trying to rule over the other 50% of the country because they think that 50% doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. It's insane what it's become in this country, sadly. So I felt like Yakov had bad examples for socialism. We talked about that. Socialism on paper does look good. It's a way to take care of more people in your country, but then you get politicians in there and they take advantage of the system, and then all of a sudden, socialism doesn't fucking work. We got a rock star for a president. I dig it. All right. Socialism blows. Hillary Clinton will come to the rescue. Carl said that on one of the last podcasts that I did with him. He said at the last minute, Hillary's going to come into the race. It's just sad that the Democrats had 4 years to figure out somebody. I mean, Trump, oh boy, here we go, because it's going to piss off some people. But Trump definitely has some weaknesses, and the Democrats had 4 years to groom a solid candidate, and they just don't have it. Biden is too old. Too fucking old. $2. Thank you, sir. Socialism is legislated mediocrity. Well, yeah, if it's done the wrong way, I guess. I'm not saying we should turn into a socialist country, by the way. I'm just saying that on paper and then how it's played out are two different things. That's all I was really trying to say there. I like the yang. Who likes the yang? Good old Andrew Yang couldn't get on that debate stage, but that stupid billionaire that buys all those commercials gets to go on. If that doesn't show you that there's something wrong with our political system, oh my God. You got enough money, you could be on the debate stage with political veterans, and then someone like Yang, who's really interesting, I want to hear more from that guy. He couldn't get on that stage. Holy crap. Unbelievable. The U.S. is a socialist country. You have more social programs. Hold on, buddy. Than you can shake a stick at. Social Security, unemployment, Medicaid, etc. And then this guy just wants to say jets, jets, jets. That's why I enjoy doing these things. You got goofballs that just want to scream jets, 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 and then you got other people that their heads are about to explode because we're talking politics and they want to get their 2 cents in. That's why I think I want to do these YouTube lives on a very regular basis because it's fun playing off everybody. I went to a Knicks game last night, first one in a couple of years, to be honest with you. Sat right behind the basket. One of the fans of my podcast just simply gave me tickets. I don't even know the guy. Follows me on Instagram, said, hey, I have these tickets. I can't use them. You want them? I said yes. And I brought Littlefoot from Westwood One, who's still my friend. And I told him as we were going into Madison Square Garden, I'm like, dude, I got these tickets from a fan. I don't know if they're going to work. I wasn't convinced that they were going to work. I thought for sure right up until the guy took out his thing to zap my code that I was being set up. But they worked. The game was wonderful. Me and Robert sat there like gentlemen drinking black cherry White Claws. And I turned another person onto the White Claw, and I apologized to Robert because he took the first sip and he said, oh my God, I'm in love. And then we were trying to figure out what's in the White Claw. And one of the ingredients is simply alcohol. Because he's like, is there vodka in this? What kind of alcohol is in it? And on the ingredients for the White Claw, it just says alcohol. I never knew you were a social justice warrior, but liquor. Why am I a social justice warrior? Oh, you think George Trapp says, I think you're being called a social justice warrior for liking White Claw. I like you, man. Death from Above, 1981. Greetings from Wales. That's awesome. Love hearing from the people around the world. AT, just trying to be a douchebag. He wants me to say I've been doing radio since I was 18 because I guess I've said that too much over the years, and that's a way haters try to get to me. Most think if you dislike Trump, you are a social justice warrior. No, don't get me wrong. I finally said this on a podcast because I was confusing people. I fucking love Donald Trump. I love that he's an asshole. I love that he calls people out all the time, but I don't want him to be the president. So I think you can love the guy, but also not want him to be the president. I mean, when he called the radio show, it was fucking amazing. I've said that many times at this point. He gave great radio over the years. Why not? Why don't you like Trump? I think it's really, really easy. I think he's full of shit. I don't think he gives a fuck about the American people. I think he gives a fuck about himself and people that are very, very close to him, his business associates and whatnot. I think he's playing a lot of people. I really do. He loves the attention. He's probably the biggest narcissist that the world has seen in a really, really long time. He only cares about his bank accounts. He has a hot wife. All candidates for president are narcissists. Yeah, I think you have to be to a point, right? You like the attention. I think anyone that's in like the public eye and entertainment and whatnot definitely have a bit of a narcissistic personality. Then you also see the people that their narcissism is completely out of control, and that's all they think about and care about. So, son went down like a drunk college girl. Casey in NorCal. I don't know if you can say that in 2020. Jesus. I did tell Robert last night that we were drinking like sorority girls as we had pinkies up with our White Claws watching the Knicks and the Suns. What's your opinion on transgenders? They're all right, I guess. They're all right. Might need a little more time to fully understand that whole world, but if that's your thing, I don't have a problem with it. They're all right. I hope that answers your question. They're all right. I'll be honest, I don't understand that, if you call someone a he, but they identify as a she or identify as a nothing, that still confuses me a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. And I think it's not fair in athletics when you got a guy that turned into a female but sort of has all the guy stuff still and is just kicking everyone's ass and then is proud that they're the best at their sport. I find that a bit unfair. Is it okay to say that in 2020? Jets. See this fucking guy. Every time it gets too serious, someone's just going, Jets. That chick with the beard tits. Oh, the beard lifts. Oops, sorry. Wait, oh my God, I read that so badly. Hold on. Jeff Potter. Because now I'm trying to refocus my eyes because now the sun's down and my pupils were tiny. So now I got to refocus again. Okay, Jeff Potter said, oh my God, that chick with the beard lifts 650 pounds. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know if that's fair. If you want to identify as a woman or as a them, some people want to be called them, I think. Help me out, you fuckers. Don't let me just sit here. I'm sweating now. I'm trying to get out of this. But I think if you have a beard and you used to be a man and now you're a woman and you're in powerlifting competitions and you're lifting 650 pounds, and if you're lifting later in the day, you can have a massive 5 o'clock shadow, I think there's a problem with that. I really do. Is it okay to say that? Or just because you don't go along with the company line, you're just a terrible person? Some of us still have a lot of questions. The hate is not there. I don't have the hate for any of that shit. But I have questions. I think Bruce Jenner looks ridiculous. Are you allowed to say that? But I think he looks ridiculous because us older people really remember him as Bruce Jenner, and that's why to this day I say Bruce Jenner. I got yelled at a few times for referencing what's her name? Kylie Jenner, right? By saying Bruce Jenner. But I've tried to explain that's because that's how I know that person. That's how I remember that person on the box of Wheaties and winning gold medals and being all over the TV. Oh, God, we almost made it, Sir Duncan. We almost made it. Opie, would you ever get back with Jim Moran? It's not even a thought in my head, I'm sorry to say. She got a huge pair of nuts, though. Yeah, well, there you go, Casey and NorCal. I'm in deep? Yeah, because you fuckers didn't help me, man. And some of this stuff you agree with, but you're too scared to say it. I don't hate transgender. World's shortest man dead at 27. Wow, wait, really? What did he die of? Let's be honest. What about midgets? Love the midgets. And Brad Williams said it's okay to say that word, but I don't know if it is. Big fan of Little People, Big World. You guys know that. I still look. Is it okay to say that? No, it's weird, though. When I see a little person walking around New York City, I'll look, and I'll even follow a little bit. Just a little bit. And then I was in Austin, Texas with Brad Williams, and we were walking, getting Starbucks, and I think we ended up meeting other people up for margaritas and some Mexican food, and everyone was staring at Brad Williams, and then I felt the other side of it. I was getting really mad for Brad Williams. And he's like, "God, dude, this is nothing. This is no big deal. This has been my entire life. I don't give a shit." I'm like, "Good for you, Brad Williams. Good for you." How come you never see little people in the Middle East? Ooh, that's a great question. That question just freaked me out. Because you know what I'm thinking? That they don't allow that shit over there. I know they hate dogs. To this day, one of the worst videos I've ever seen on YouTube was a Middle Eastern dog, really cute, cuddly, tiny little like toy poodle, something like that, really small and white and fluffy. And these kids lit it on fire. And the dog ran around screaming bloody murder. I was depressed for about a week. And then people explained to me that obviously it's cruelty to animals, obviously, but what makes it not as bad is the fact that in that part of the world, they just don't give a fuck about dogs like we do. I mean, it still was brutal. I mean, come on. But it was interesting to hear that angle, at least, that, you know, they look at dogs almost like they're rats. They're not bringing them home for pets. They're not allowed to have dogs as pets, Grant? I did not know that. But then if you're a society that eats dogs, who are we to say they shouldn't eat dogs? Just because we love them, there's parts of the world they don't look at the animals that we look at in the same way. I mean, I think it's disgusting. Don't get me wrong. There's towns in China that have those brutal dog festivals, and man, they don't play. I don't know, man. I mean, we do some real shitty, brutal things to animals in our country, right? And I bet you there's parts of the world that don't really approve of that shit either. So, how's your V? That old gag. I never had a V in my life. Even when I was like an actual athlete, I still didn't have an actual V. Speaking of the non-existent V, this would be a great time to welcome a brand new sponsor to the Opie Radio podcast. I'm talking about Oats Overnight. That's oatsovernight.com. Use the promo code Opie. Basically, you probably know by now that I like to eat healthy but tasty. Healthy but tasty. And Oats Overnight fits the bill. Oh, yeah. I got involved with Oats Overnight. They sent me a box of their product. It's a delicious overnight oats shake. It's very quick. It's very easy. And I'm telling you, it's very tasty. Some of the flavors include strawberries and cream, green apple cinnamon, peanut butter cookie dough, cacao crunch, blueberry cobbler, mocha, and many more flavors to choose from. It's high in protein, it's low in sugar, it's gluten-free, it has vegan options, it has everything. Mixed with any milk or milk substitute, and it's easy and quick to make. They got a blender bottle. You put your milk or your milk substitute up to the line, then you pick your flavor, you dump your flavor into the blender bottle, then you put the cap on, and then you shake it up for, I don't know, like 20 seconds, then you throw it in your refrigerator, you pretty much forget about it. The next morning, you shake it just a little bit, and you can take it right to work with you and have it in the car. And it's really, really good. Shipping is always free. If you find yourself eating fast food for breakfast, or you know you should be eating healthier, I'm telling you, this is for you. I love it. Right now, you can get 10% off your entire order with the code OPIE, O-P-I-E. Head over to oatsovernight.com, use promo code OPIE, and get a free blender bottle with your first order. And all first orders have a full money-back guarantee, so you can try it risk-free. That's oatsovernight.com, promo code OPIE, O-P-I-E, for 10% off your entire order. I love these guys, and I want to welcome them to the Opie Radio podcast. Thanks, Oats Overnight. And now back to the episode. The second half is going to be taking place at the ocean as I sit there and hang out with a bunch of you guys on YouTube Live. It's time for a time jump. Carl, take it away. Bring it up to speed. Here we go. Hang on, everybody. There she goes. Come to Buffalo, lots of good breweries. Man, breweries are popping up all over the place. My newer friend, to be honest with you, I met him through Chris, Fish Guy Photos on Instagram when we were doing the red-tailed hawk episode. Emmy, the red-tailed hawk, was doing some of that hunting. And home base for that episode was Mustache Brewery in Riverhead. They do a very, very good job. But I feel sorry for them because I even said, how many breweries were there when you started? And it was, I forget exactly the numbers, but it was barely anybody was doing it on Long Island. And he's like, oh, now pretty much everyone and their mother has a brewery. And I'm like, I can relate because that's what is happening with radio. All of a sudden, everyone thinks they could do this, that they could do radio. The sad part is more people would have done radio a long time ago or tried it. But I guess the word radio wasn't cool enough. But then you change radio to podcasting. All of a sudden it's hip and cool. And all those Brooklyn assholes start podcasting from all over the goddamn place. Sorry. Hey, Brooklyn is cool, Ken R says. All right. Here comes the storm, though. Look at that. I think it's going to be rain, though, unfortunately. Do you like Joe Rogan's podcast? Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes, depending on the guest, I guess. But I guess that's how it is with most podcasts, right? There's not really a must-listen-to podcast out there. I'll be honest, I'm trying to become that thing. I'm not there yet. But, the O&A show is must-listen radio. As far as the podcasting world goes, is not a must-listen. Everyone looks at their podcast feeds, and if they see a guest they're interested in or a topic, then they download that episode. They don't really have a lot of loyalty past the fact that they subscribe and, download a few episodes. That's what's missing from podcasting. And I'm going to fill that void, God damn it! You're going to listen to every episode I do. Just give me time. What would it take for you to do a show on terrestrial radio again? A to B, what city, what would you... I had an opportunity to do something with WEEI, was the last opportunity I had. Probably at this point, trying to remember when they finally gave up on me, probably like 6 or 7 months ago. I wasn't feeling it, especially because, WEEI in Boston, they're sports... They're a sports station. And then this guy who is very cool, big-time fan of the podcast, really likes what I'm doing. He's like, look, you could do a lot of the shows from New York. You don't even have to come to Boston. And I'm thinking, but I love Boston, so I wouldn't mind going up there from time to time. But I'm not moving my family for a stupid radio dream. My days of moving are over unless there's an offer that comes in for millions of dollars. But then I said, then I'm going to have to talk about sports and Boston sports, and I can limp my way around, but I don't know that much about it. They're like, you don't even have to talk that much sports. But in the end, I really feel like regular radio is just dead. iHeart, which is pretty much the biggest company in America for radio, they just laid off a shitload of people all over the place, and some really good, solid, talented people. But that's what's going on in the business. It's all going bye-bye. And it doesn't help that everyone thinks they could podcast. Hey, listen to my podcast. No, I'm not going to listen to your podcast. Radio sucks. I don't know anyone who listens to regular radio in years. Andrea, what's up, Andrea? Do you feel radio is dead, though? It's not dead. It's just changing its form. It's changing into podcasting, really. But the problem is that the market is saturated. And I need a lot more podcasts to realize, this is really hard to do on a regular basis and to tap out. And then I'm going to rise to the top. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Did you say thoughts on Jay Leno's showed? Hold on. I got to take my gloves off to scroll back. Oh, it's cold out here. Yakov Smirnoff brought me back. Good interview. Thank you, buddy. Whatever it takes. Start your own network. Hell no. Everyone is starting their own network in podcasting. Thoughts on Jay Leno's showed. I hear Jay Leno has a giant dick. Good for Jay. Good for him and his dumb blue shirts. A good network where the content is curated with good shows and not just putting your friends on. I have no desire to be a boss in that regard again, and being responsible for people and worrying about tons of people, and then they come to you, I can't do my podcast this week because I'm sick, or I'm going on vacation, you take care of it. No thank you. You build it, they will come. Thank you, William. Well, we're building, and the numbers are certainly going up, which is very, very nice. I think the YouTube Live is actually helping the numbers for the podcast. So if you're not a subscriber to Opie Radio yet, please do so. I would appreciate that. Detroit will take anything good on radio. The problem is there's plenty of guys out there that could do good radio. Not as good as what I did and what me and Anthony did, but there are plenty that are good. The companies just shut those fuckers down and told them to shut up and play the music, which was the dumbest thing in the world. And I try to tell radio companies over the years, because satellite radio was a-coming, internet radio was a-coming, although that was more or less a bust, although so many people are putting their podcasts on the internet, so I guess it's doing okay. And then it was podcasting. So what did regular radio do as all this new competition was coming their way with new media? They told their DJs to shut the fuck up. God, is that stupid. That's where they blew it. Do you make money on your YouTube channel? Yes, I do. And my channel to this day averages 700,000 views a month. And I make enough money to maybe cover my cable bill. That's ridiculous. Some wrestling guy was trashing you on Jim and Sam. What? Why? I live in people's heads. I live in people's heads. I live in people's heads. I feel like being obnoxious today. I live in your head. I live in your head. Oh, that just gained me $4.99 from Jeff Potter. I remember Jeff. I remember you from yesterday's live stream. I'm starting to recognize some of the names. It was Matt Serra. Who's Matt Serra? Matt Serra's the UFC guy, right? He was trashing me? Get the fuck out of here. That's so stupid. There's no way. I met Matt Serra a few times, had him on the radio show, and to be completely honest, the guy could not have been nicer to me. Really, really nice, really respectful. I remember he did okay on the radio, funny at times, and he even said that he was a fan of my work. And now he's sitting there trashing me? Get the fuck out of here. That's stupid. Why? That can't be true. He took some shots. What are some of those shots songs? Isn't there only one? Shots. Is that how you do it? Shots fired. Pew, pew, pew. Very nice. That's funny. There's no way the guy trashed me, because that would be really stupid, because he was very cool to me and I was very, very cool to him. Unless is he trying to fight someone's battle? Ew! I don't click on the clips that make fun of me and stuff. I just don't. I know they're out there. People point them out to me. They're like, you better hear this, and they send me links. And I just, years ago, I gave up on listening to shitty stuff about me. Years and years ago. Everyone wants to fuel the flames of the fire. So Blaine, you're saying he didn't really take shots? All right, there you go. Yeah, people like to start shit. Maybe he said stuff about me, but if Matt Serra said anything about me, that's completely ridiculous. Because like I said, met him a couple times. He was very, very cool to me. He was respectful, nice guy, was good on the radio, kind of funny at times, and said that he was a fan of my work. So, and then if he turns around and bashes me or trashes me, I don't know what to say to that. I think that's ridiculous. Okay, that's my answer to that. And I should say I'm not scared of any UFC fighters, by the way. All right, which would probably be very stupid on my part. I understand. You just tweeted Matt Serra and said that I think he's dumb. What are you, crazy?
You know when I just said I'm not scared of UFC fighters? I'm scared shitless of them. Not because they're strong, by the way. When you get into it with someone, you don't think of that crap because you just lose your mind. But they're crazy. That's why they're UFC fighters. They're absolutely insane. A lot of UFC fighters, if you do any research, they've had terrible things happen to them in their lives. And in a lot of ways, that's why they turn to fighting. They're just getting out so much trauma in that ring. Is that too much wind? Too much wind because that storm's getting close. So we might have to finish this up, boys and girls. Oh, wow, that's a lot of wind. You still love the silent game we used to play? Thank you, Ken R. I appreciate that. That was one of my favorites. One of my favorite inventions. You get someone on the phone and then you say hello and then you just let them suffer because everybody wants to be heard so badly they're not going to hang up because they thought they got through to their favorite radio show. And they just want to believe that there's just a slight problem and that their radio heroes are going to be on the line any minute. Oh, my God, that was so incredibly uncomfortable, and I loved it. Oh, you like the ping pong game, too? All right, now we're talking old radio, old O&A. So the ping pong game, we got a ping pong sound effect, and when we got a caller that was just going on and on and on, me and Anthony would make believe we would be playing ping pong. And then every once in a while we'd be going, yeah, But then we would show total excitement for the ping pong game going on in front of us, just playing off the sound clip. It was such a riot. That was shock jock radio at its best. Dice was hilarious during the silent game. You know what I learned? I was listening to that Bradley Cooper. And he was on Oprah. I know. Hey, don't go away. Hey, guys, don't go away. The Opester's just trying to grow as a human being. What's wrong with listening to a little Oprah every once in a while? Whoa, look at my numbers. Hey, they're dropping. Don't go away. And she had Bradley Cooper on. It was around A Star Is Born, so about a year ago, around the Oscars, which is almost upon us here. And it was on her podcast called Super Soul Sunday. Hey, where's everyone going? I'm just trying to improve myself with some ohms. No? But anyway, Bradley Cooper was talking about Andrew Dice Clay and everybody else that was in that movie. But the one thing he said about Andrew Dice Clay, which I did not know, that Andrew Dice Clay wears glasses because he could barely see out of his left eye. Did anyone else know this? I was his friend for many, many years and never noticed that he would, turn a little more to the right so he could see shit. I didn't know that. Oprah stinks. Lawrence, how dare you? You don't have a soul, my friend. But Bradley Cooper was basically talking about Andrew Dice Clay, and the reason why he wears glasses is because he could barely see out of his left eye. I swear to God, I'm learning this for the first time. Is this true? Chris, C-R-I-S, I loved when Oprah tried cleaning the birthmark off of Drew Brees' face. She did not try to do that. Come on, tell me that's not true. Does anyone know that? Did Oprah Winfrey try to rub the mole off Drew Brees' face? Come on, you're fucking with me. Come on. Yeah, everyone is saying, please let it be true. Oh, it's got to be fake news. I know, but God, is that great. Know what's weird about Drew Brees and that mole? And we all suffer from moles. I had a lot of them. You really could get, a lot of that taken off your face. When I finally started getting some money, and mole removal's not even that expensive, the first thing I did was go to a doctor and get a whole bunch of moles taken off my face. And then some people are like, well, if they take this mole, it's always a mole that has hair grown out of it that's really obvious. They'll go, if I take the mole off my face, I'm going to have a scar. And I'm like, look at yourself. A scar versus a mole that is growing a mini tree. What do you think you should do? God. It's kind of something that infuriates me, though, because some of these moles, once again on the subway, I get a lot of my material on the subway. You'll see somebody with a mole that will really infuriate you, and you want to tap them on the shoulder and say, you could get that removed in 2020. People don't die from moles anymore. Sure, back in the early 1800s, people died from moles, but not anymore. That's something you could take care of. All right. Did you name your moles Anthony and Jimmy? What the fuck, dude? You get most of your material on the subway. Ignatius. Well, I mean, I was exaggerating, but I love people watching, so when I go on the subway, my eyes are open, and I'm scanning for shit. The John Lennon Cook was my favorite. I don't know what that means. Maybe I shouldn't just read some of this. Maybe I would get myself in trouble. I read a lot of these comments cold because they go by so fast. And speaking of cold, my fingertips I'm freezing right now. I'm recording this as a massive snowstorm comes barreling down on me, and I'm outside. Betty White did not die. Now I'm on to you guys with the fake news. I finally believe that Oprah Winfrey did not try to rub the mole off Drew Brees' face, okay? Although I wanted to believe, along with many of you. But I know Betty White didn't die. She was trending. Every time Betty White's trending, she's one of those celebrities where everyone goes, oh my God, she must have died. No, she was celebrating, if you could call it that, her 98th birthday. You know, Gwyneth Paltrow has a vagina candle. I think Betty White should have a candle. A Betty White vagina candle. What do you think? Coming soon to opieradio.com. With all your t-shirts and hats. T-shirts, hats, and the Betty White vagina candle. Everyone's yelling no. No! No! You'd buy two, you sick fuck. Serial killer would buy two of those. Nice. Have you seen Artie's nose lately? I have. Artie Lang looks good. I hear he's doing well in recovery. It's something he's going to have to worry about the rest of his life. It's right around the corner where he could go back to all that stuff. But let's be honest, Artie Lang's nose looks like he's pressing his face up against the window. Did I see Jennifer Aniston's naked pictures? No, I did not. My God. That's something I'm going to have to search out. She is the greatest living cougar on earth, right? Wow. 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 I love the Jennifer Aniston, but I still hold to my theory that the reason she can't keep a man is because she's got that vagina disease that makes it smell bad. I started that thing a long time ago, and more people are with me on that. That's what I believe. What is it called? Vaginosis or something like that? Come on, ladies, tell me. Tell me about the smelly vagina thing. I'm not going to talk about my first girlfriend again, but unfortunately, she had that disease. Unfortunately. And it was a real bummer. That was a real bummer. Oh my God. Yes. It was no bueno. No bueno. When you're in the middle of Western New York and it smells like low tide while you're out to dinner, you know you have a problem. All right. I would continue, but I can't lie to you. My fingertips are frozen. I'm freezing. Okay? So this is what I suggest. You support my sponsors. The latest sponsor is Oats Overnight. Just buy some stuff from them using the promo code Opie. Or go to my website and buy a t-shirt or a hat or the Betty White vagina candle. And that keeps this damn podcast free, okay? Yes, I have money, but I don't want to be paying for this crazy-ass bandwidth, which is making me think that I should do a little something to get some money coming in. So help me out. Just support my sponsors if you can. or buy something off the old website, all right? And make sure you subscribe to the Opie Radio podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Got a podcast app? Search Opie Radio and hit that subscribe button, okay? All right, guys, this was fun, for real. We will do this again very, very soon. This wasn't lame, dummy. I know it wasn't lame, and most of the people in here know it wasn't lame. Just take that horse shit somewhere else. We're over that crap. But we're doing this pretty much every day, guys. I really appreciate the love, the support, and the fun. A lot of funny fuckers out there that made me laugh today, man. So thank you very much. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.